All right, hello, welcome. My name is Douglas, and I'll be instructing Meredith how to perform each exercise that she has to complete today, one from each different category of her program. To begin, we're going to start with the warm-up. We're going to be working her upper body today in her workout, so we want to focus on her upper body during her warm-up as well. So to begin, we're just going to do some arm circles. So just put your arms straight out to start. Start going forwards in small circles. Make sure your arms are nice and relaxed too. Slowly increase the circles. And we're going to do this for 30 seconds. Yeah, take a step back if you need to so you don't hit anything. And then after 30 seconds, we're going to switch and go backwards. Okay, next, following your arm circles, we're going to be doing some arm swings, forward to backward. Again, nice and slow and controlled. You want to kind of hug yourself when you're doing these. Make sure you let your arms go all the way back to stretching through your chest. Great job. Keep going for 30 seconds. Finally, for your cardio warm-up, I'd like to have you perform butt kicks. So you're just going to be standing in place and jumping and trying your hardest to drive your heel into your butt. I want you to perform that for 30 seconds, please. Just to get your heart rate up to speed, and we'll have you do that a couple times. Okay, you did a great job with your warm-up, so let's move on to your cardiovascular workout. You're already familiar with the elliptical and steady state cardio, so instead of having you do high intensity interval training, I'm gonna have you perform what you're already comfortable with. So just do 15 minutes. Make sure to keep your posture upright the whole time. Try not to bend forwards as you're doing it. So you're using your legs to push, not your whole body. You're already using the handles for stability, and feel free to use the inner handles as well. Make sure to keep your feet flat, planted on the platforms. All right, so the goal for your intensity, we want your heart rate to stay between 125 and 148 BPM. That's between 40 to 59% of your maximum intensity. So it's about half of what your max intensity is. So it's much more moderate. All right, great job. You're doing great so far. If this is a little too easy, increase the incline of the elliptical or increase the resistance on there. And if it's too hard, it's no problem. You can divide the 15 minutes into 3 5-minute sets, taking a 1-minute break of rest in between each, making it a little bit easier for you. All right, your form looks great. We can continue on to the next exercise for now. But this exercise is great for maintaining your cardiovascular endurance for lacrosse. Okay, moving on with your workout, I'd like to give you a couple chest exercises to try and improve your maximum push-up score. I'd like to have you do a dumbbell chest press and dumbbell chest flies. So to begin, we're going to start with the dumbbell chest press. To start off, you want to grab some dumbbells that aren't too heavy but aren't too light either. Your 1 rep max for the bench press was 65 pounds. So we want to aim for 60 to 70% of that 65-pound goal. So 60 to 70% of that is 40 to 46 pounds. So you'd want 20 to 22.5 pound dumbbells, because on each side that would add up to 40 to 46 pounds. You're going to perform this exercise laying on a flat bench, and you're going to be pressing the weight away from your chest. And when you come back down, your arms should go to 9 degrees, and you don't want to go past that because it could risk injuring your shoulder. All right, so turn this way. Yeah, lay down on your back. Push them straight out in front of you. Then slowly lower down to 90 degrees. And try to bring your elbows out to the sides of it if you can. But yeah, if that weight's too heavy, then you can go down in weight.
It's actually not that bad once I'm like that.
Yeah, try to put your wrist straight across. Like that. And then, yeah, and try to maintain that line. Yeah, good job. Your form looks good. Yeah, make sure to keep your arms engaged the whole time. Don't let them go floppy all over the place. And make sure to keep your feet flat on the ground and planted so that you're able to press up through your feet. If the 20-pound dumbbells were a little too easy, then you could go up in weight to 22.5 or 25-pound dumbbells. That will put you in the 70 to 80% of your 1 rep max range. Or if you go down to 17.5-pound dumbbells, then that will put you more in the 50% range of your 1 rep max. All right, the second chest exercise is going to be dumbbell chest flies. So we're going to use an even lighter dumbbell than we use for the chest press exercise, because this exercise uses a lot of small stabilizer muscles. So it's a little bit harder to complete, and we want to avoid any risk of injury. Can I get you to grab some 5-pound dumbbells? Yeah, stay on the bench, laying flat on your back. To begin, hold your arms straight out in front of you. While keeping your arms straight, slowly lower them to the sides. Also, while not letting your arms get floppy, keeping your elbows tight, your hands tight, squeezing the dumbbells the whole time. Then when you come back up, really try to push as hard as you can. For the chest flies, to make it harder for yourself, you could go up in weight to 8 or 10-pound dumbbells if the 5 pounds begin to get too easy for you. And if you want to make it slightly easier, you could use a resistance band such as this, and using this to perform flies instead, which performs a slightly different workout to the muscle than the dumbbell flies do. And following these chest exercises, you could also perform a few sets of push-ups until failure, aiming to further improve your muscular endurance and your score on the maximum push-up test. Okay, so next we have neuromotor exercise. So we're going to be focusing on your balance and your coordination, but I'd still like to continue focusing on your chest since that's what we've been focusing on for the majority of this workout. And you don't have access to a BOSU ball or a ladder, but you do have access to perfect push-up handles, which also offer the stabilization that doing push-ups on a BOSU ball provides. What I'm gonna have you do is just perform regular push-ups, but trying your best to balance on these and keep your wrists staying as straight as possible the whole time. Don't let them like turn and stuff as you're going down. You want to keep your chest engaged the whole time. You could go ahead and begin. Great, yeah, your form looks really good actually. So I'd like you to try and perform 8 to 12 of these if possible and do 3 sets. All right, yeah, your form looks great. So if that is too hard for you, then you can perform it from your knees, doing a knee push-up, especially on a yoga mat or something like this. That way, if you aren't able to reach that 8 to 12 rep goal, you can go down to your knees. And if that's too easy, you could try turning the handles inwards and trying to keep them in the straight up and down position instead of across, because this will work more your tricep along with your chest. Yeah, you can go ahead and try it if you'd like. Yeah, great, that looks good. Now we're going to be moving on to plank, using the perfect push-ups as well. Doing this exercise on the plank will increase the amount of stabilization used by the core. Yeah, so to begin, you just want to get into a push-up position, like you were before. And you want your hands positioned across. You just need to hold that position for 30 to 45 seconds and repeat that for 3 sets. If you want to make that easier, again, you can do it from your knees like you did for the push-ups, and this will make it a little bit easier if you can't reach that 30 to 45 seconds. To make it harder, while you're in the plank position, try lifting a single leg so you increase the amount of balance you're using to perform the plank. You could lift your leg for a whole set and then switch legs next set, or halfway through you could briefly pause and switch legs halfway through your set of the planks. So for your cool down, I'm going to be having you perform a couple stretches that also focus on your chest and upper body, since that's what you just exercised. The first stretch is just a standing chest stretch against the wall. What you're going to do, place your palm on the wall, and then you want to work your body closer to the wall, rotating your body and opening your shoulder up, allowing yourself to feel this stretch all the way through your chest and your shoulder. But try keeping your palm flat on the wall the entire time. And if you want a deeper stretch, you can even kind of pull away from your hand a little bit. And then one thing you could also do is bend your arm up to 90 degrees, and you might have to take a step back because you can't get as deep of a stretch. Then just the same idea. Rotate, try to keep your palm flat on the wall, and yeah, open your chest up. All right, the second stretch I'm gonna have you do is also against the wall. This can be a standing shoulder stretch. So you're gonna put both your hands up over your head on the wall, palms flat against the wall, and you want your hands about shoulder distance apart to begin. And you push your head through your shoulders, keeping your back straight and allowing your chest to fall towards the floor. And you should feel the stretch deep in your shoulders. If you want to make it a little harder, you can widen your hands out further. You might feel it more in your chest that way. Yeah, great job. Thank you for joining me for our class today. I hope you had a great workout lesson. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.